Have you ever noticed how some people, no matter what life throws at them, always seem to land on their feet, while others, no matter how much opportunity surrounds them, stay stuck, confused, frustrated, and always pointing the finger at someone else? It isn't about intelligence. It isn't about talent. It isn't even about luck. It is about wisdom. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy practiced by emperors, generals, and former slaves alike, teaches us that there are 5 specific phrases, verbal red flags, that signal a weak mind and a fragile spirit. These aren't just words, they're symptoms of a deeper problem. If you catch yourself saying even one of these, you are unknowingly sabotaging your own power. Today, we expose these silent killers and replace them with unbreakable truth. If you are ready to leave the path of the fool and walk the path of the sage, subscribe now. Let the transformation begin. Phrase 1. It's not my fault. The first phrase of the philosophically unwise person is the refusal to accept ownership. When a crisis hits, the first instinct of this person is to look outward. Listen for these words. It's not my fault. The economy is bad. My boss is unfair. My circumstances are impossible. In saying this, they become the eternal victim. They hand the keys to their happiness to strangers and circumstances, and by doing so, they admit loudly that the world has complete power over them. The Stoic, however, knows that blame is a waste of mental energy. Epictetus, the great slave turned philosopher, taught us that there are things in our control and things outside of our control. The foolish person tries to control the external world and ignores the internal. The wise person masters the internal and releases attachment to the external. Consider the story of 2 captains navigating the same storm. The foolish captain screams at the wind, cursing the waves, shaking their fist at the sky, abandoning the wheel in protest. The wise captain says nothing. They know the storm doesn't care about their opinion. Instead, they adjust the sails. They grip the wheel tighter. They focus only on what they can do. Steer. When you say, "It's not my fault," you are the captain screaming at the wind. The Stoic understands that while an event might not be your fault, the response is always your responsibility. To blame is to remain powerless. To accept responsibility, even for messes you didn't create, is the first step toward wisdom. As long as your hands are busy pointing fingers, they are too busy to build a solution. Phrase 2. They made me angry. This is perhaps the most dangerous lie a person can tell themselves. They made me lose my temper. This phrase implies that your emotional state is a remote-controlled device and everyone around you holds a remote. The foolish person believes that insults, traffic, or rude behavior forces them to react. They're a puppet, jerked around by the strings of other people's conduct. When the world is kind, they're calm. When the world is harsh, they collapse. They have no fortress of the mind. Seneca, the Roman statesman and philosopher, described anger not as a sign of strength, but as a sign of weakness, a collapse of reason. When you say someone made you angry, you are confessing that you lack the discipline to guard your own mind. Imagine a person walking through a crowded market. Someone bumps into them hard. They spin around furious and ready to fight. But then they look down and see that the person who bumped them is blind and uses a cane. Instantly, the anger dissolves. What changed? The physical event was identical. The bump was the same. The only thing that shifted was their interpretation of the stranger. The stupid person is a slave to their immediate impressions. The Stoic pauses. They understand that an insult is like a rock thrown at a cliff. If the cliff is solid, the rock simply bounces off. If you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled. Do not give anyone that power over you.
Phrase 3. I'll be happy when. The foolish person lives their entire life in the future. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I buy that house. I'll be happy when things finally fall into place. They treat the present moment as a waiting room, a mere obstacle to endure on the way to some imaginary paradise. This is the precise definition of anxiety and dissatisfaction. By chaining their happiness to future events that may never arrive, they guarantee misery in the now. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, who possessed everything a person could want, wealth, power, legacy, reminded himself daily to find contentment in the present duty. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He understood that the future is a mist and the past is a memory. The present moment is the only reality we actually possess. There's a parable of a wealthy business person who sees a fisher resting by their boat at noon, laughing with their family. The business person asks, "Why aren't you out fishing more? You could buy more boats, build a fleet, eventually build an entire company." The fisher asks, "And then what?" "Then you could retire, sit by the ocean, sleep late, enjoy your family." The fisher smiles. "What do you think I am doing right now?" The foolish person runs on a treadmill chasing a horizon they can never catch. Stoicism is not about lacking ambition. It is about ambitious action without desperate attachment to the result. If you cannot find peace in who you are today, you will not find it with $1 million tomorrow. You will simply be a wealthier, equally miserable person. Stop waiting to live. Phrase 4. Why is this happening to me? This is the cry of the person who believes the universe owes them a comfortable life. When tragedy strikes, when they lose something important, face illness, or endure failure, the foolish person feels personally targeted by fate. Why me? I'm a good person. This isn't fair. They resist reality, and that resistance is where the real suffering lives. Pain is inevitable. Misery, however, is optional. It is the product of resistance. The Stoic embraces a concept called amor fati, a love of fate, not merely tolerating what happens, but finding meaning in it. The Stoic sees every obstacle not as a block on the path, but the path itself. Imagine you are training in the ring. If your coach only ever pairs you with weak, fragile opponents, you learn nothing. You remain exactly as you are. But if your coach pairs you with a champion who challenges you, who forces you to struggle, to adapt, to grow, you become stronger. The foolish person asks, "Why does the coach hate me?" The wise person understands, the coach is trying to make me unbreakable. Life is that coach. When you ask, "Why is this happening to me?" you are rejecting the training. You're wishing for a life of ease, which is a life of decay. Stop asking why this is happening to you. Start asking what you can learn from it.
Phrase 5. I don't have time. The final phrase of the philosophically unwise is the most deceptive because it feels productive. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to think. I don't have time to grow. The foolish person wears their busyness like a badge of honor. They mistake movement for progress. They believe that running around in circles means they are getting somewhere. But here is the truth. I don't have time is almost always a lie. What they mean is, it is not a priority. They have hours to scroll through their phone, but no time to reflect for 10 minutes. They have time for distraction, but not for growth. Seneca wrote an entire essay on this, on the shortness of life. His conclusion? Life is long enough if you know how to use it. He observed that people guard their money fiercely. They would never let a stranger steal their wallet, yet they let everyone steal their time. They surrender hours to meaningless arguments, days to mindless entertainment, years to routines they despise. Imagine you had a bank account that received a deposit of $86,400 every single morning, but at midnight, whatever you had not spent was permanently erased. You could not save it, transfer it, or carry it forward. You would spend every unit wisely, wouldn't you? That is your life. You receive 86,400 seconds every day. The foolish person lets them drain away, distracted, unfocused, busy but not purposeful. The Stoic treats time as the most precious commodity in existence. They ruthlessly cut out the non-essential. They say no to the trivial so they can say yes to what matters. A person who is too busy to improve themselves is like a driver too busy to stop for fuel. They will not get far. Do not be the person who reaches the end of their life realizing they were always busy but never truly alive. These 5 phrases, blaming others, claiming someone made you angry, postponing your happiness, rejecting your fate, and wasting your time, are the walls of a prison you built for yourself. But the door is unlocked. You can walk out at any moment. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion. It is about refusing to be ruled by it. It is about seeing the world with clarity and choosing to act with courage regardless. The next time one of these phrases rises in your throat, pause, catch it, swallow it, and replace it with responsibility, with gratitude, and with action.
Because the difference between the fool and the sage is not intelligence, it is the willingness to look inward and change.